Let's keep it with corporates and find out what the outlook is as well when it comes to the chemicals industry. The pricing pressures weighing down. What is the outlook when it comes to demand? Vishal Thakkar is the Deputy CFO at Anupam Rasayan India and now joins in on the show. Thanks for taking time out. So to begin with, Vishal, I wanted to just get an overall outlook then on the chemical sector as a whole, because I understand that there are some concerns right now with respect to destocking that could end soon. But there has been high competition due to the recovery in China and the China oversupply impacting a lot of branded and generic sales. Can you give us a roundup?
Oh, hi, good morning. Thank you, and great to have a chat with you. You're on the market side. Yes, it's been the demand has been little. The industry has been seeing a bit of a headwinds there, especially what you rightly found out that suggesting that destocking is an issue. Yes, the channels have had a little bit of more inventory than what the market was comfortable with, and the industry is unwinding that. That is pushing the demand for the backstream guys a little further to by a few quarters. Yes, China is coming in, and that also is reducing the kind of market supply, increasing market supply, and reducing the demand further for the industry. If you look at in total, I would say that probably by that large part of the whole pain has been through, and I guess in next quarter or two you should be able to see something moving back to a more normal growth that we have been seeing in the past as well. So I think yes, there has been a bit of a blip for a few quarters. Probably we might say for a quarter or two, and then we should be back to the growth story. That's what I think we are seeing as an industry. And for Anupam also, if you see, I think we've been fairly flattish to little on the upside on the growth. Probably this quarter also will be kind of a similar, and in the Q4 of this financial, we should start seeing the growth back in our journey as well.
Why do you think things will improve?
Yeah, that's where we are.
No, why do you think things will improve? What will change in the next 2 quarters?
So I think 2-3 things that are happening. One is the channel destocking that we have been talking about is fairly at the fag end of the process. So that is one thing. Two is whatever was the high level of China, which had stocked up a lot of their produce, and they were not able to do business for last 2 years, largely because of the zero COVID and the restrictions in the supply chain. I think that all should also unwind in next quarter backs or two. So that are the two things. If you look at from a demand perspective, I don't think that there is a secular destruction of demand in this industry. Be a agrochem or a pharma or any other secular demand destruction has not happened. It is only the moving of the playing of the inventory up and down is what has been the real factor, and that's what the Indian suppliers have been really focusing on, which is where they are a B2B guy, like an Anupam is a B2B to, let's say, a European player, and that's where you would see that there is a bit of a push going to the quarter 3, quarter 4, and quarter 1, quarter 2 has been flattish for most of us.
As an industry, would you have visibility as well? Because we were reading a couple of analyst reports, and they are actually pegging the overall sectoral recovery, demand recovery per se, to come in by FY25. So would you concur with the same view? And this is not just Anupam, I'm talking about the overall industry.
So you're right. See, if you see what even I said in my opening statement as well, if you really see, I'm saying quarter or two. So if I just put it to 2 quarters, let's say, then we're talking about FY25 in any case, and that's what everybody is talking about. So see, it will depend upon which part of the value chain you are. You are in the fag end of the value chain, or the starting of the value chain, or you are into base chemicals, or you are into finished dosages. Will determine that when does the demand pick up. But largely, it's right that probably 1-2 quarters and you will start seeing the demand, and that's what I think the analysts are also talking about FY25. I think that's where it looks like, and that's our understanding. And I think the analysts know better than us, I would say.
Sure. We were just chatting with Tata Chemicals as well just the other day, and they highlighted some of the challenges, especially in the European market. Now, Europe has been a big market for you as well, with more than, I think, 1/3 of your revenues coming in from that geography. But you've been on a signing spree with some of the Japanese chemical companies of late as well. Is that an intentional shift owing to the slowdown in Europe? And do you see Europe as well as a geography recover anytime soon?
So first is I don't think it is about that we were seeing headwinds in the Europe and hence we moved to the Japan, because see, the business that we are in, typically what we see as a culmination of an LOI or a demand is an effort of 2 to 3 years, and not probably over the last 6 months or 12 months of effort really is the case. So after the acquisition of Tanfac, and if you look at the strengthening of our team in Europe, in Japan and in Americas. So there are 3-4 things. One, if you look at 7 years or 8 years back, my Japan revenue was zero. I am around 15% of my revenue now. And that is only a momentum getting created in that geography. And that is what is happening for Japan. And same way you will see that Americas will come into play. America, especially North America, will come into play. And that also will have a similar kind of a behavior as we go further. So I don't see that it is because of the Europe, we were concerned about Europe and hence we moved to that. It's just that we are broadening our market, and this has been happening structurally for last so many years, and that is only continuing. Europe, I would again say that if we see the manufacturing in Europe has been a bit of a challenge. That's true, but see, at the end of the day, there is large capacities, especially for the formulators and for the brand owners and the market, and that we don't see that is going to go off significantly over the near term period. Probably there will be a lot more of offshoring happening, and that's probably the opportunity for countries like India and China, which will really be taking the advantage of the offshoring that would happen from a branded guys to which they were typically doing it in Europe, to let's say Saltigos and Lanxess and all, which will come to probably to companies like us and to our peers and the industry here.
Why are global companies like BASF and other European chemical makers revising their guidance downward? I mean, they are the guys who got capacity and who really have a hold of the market.
So you are saying that are they not revising, or have they revised?
No, they've revised already. My point is that why are they? I mean, the fact that if they revise their guidance, they are talking about a bleak scenario beyond 6 months. Otherwise, they would have not revised it down.
No, you're right. I'm not saying no to that. But let's say that BASF has revised the view by, let's say, 15%. Let's say. I'm just giving an example, right? Now, look at it from that. Where were they sourcing from? They were also sourcing from Europe itself, and also from China and India's. Right. So now the demand, the sourcing from the Europe itself, from cabs and cameras and fine chems and Lanxess are going to be significantly impacted, because they will have the least of the competitive strength here in terms of pricing situation, right? And if you look at on the net basis, is where I'm saying that probably we will have an advantage to really grab that market. And at some time, at probably let's say not even 6 or 12 months, but that market will come back. Maybe at least at or to a similar levels, and that's where probably companies like India and in companies in India and China will be of an advantage. And so I'm just trying to differentiate between originator or brands which are like BASF has guided down, but if you look at Lanxess has guided down significantly compared to the BASF, right? And that is what we are trying to say, that's where there will be a wedge that will come in for companies like us and the Indian peers of ours. Yeah.
Is that good news for you, bad news for you? Because it can have interplay both ways. Because when crude goes higher, I've seen that everything in the chemical sector goes higher. When crude goes down, everything goes lower.
So I will say that what will happen is that the companies which are more having their robust supply chain first, because that really helps them in terms of defending their whole value chain. That's one. Two is companies which are more likely wanting to work on a long-term basis and not trying to talk about today's price or tomorrow's price. I think these are the ones which will eventually have better advantage, because that's how the Europe has been behaving. If you look at all the relationship of an European supplier to, let's say, BASF or a Syngenta, is pretty much more like a long-term behavior, and they are looking for a long-term supply chain solution. So companies which are really focusing on that whole supply chain, long-term partnership will have, because I don't see, at least it is my personal view, and I'm willing to be corrected in future, but I believe that the end production market or the capacity of the BASF, I don't think we are going off anytime soon enough. Maybe there'll be a dip, maybe there will be corrections, but eventually there will be the demand that is there, and they will need suppliers which are more agile, more robust in terms of the supply chain, and are able to give them a pricing solution which help them compete in the world. So I think that's where we would say there is an opportunity, and you're right, there will be a bit of challenge. I'm not trying to say that there is no challenge or there is no risk, but I think there is a fair bit of a opportunity that will come in. I don't see that it's about a quarter, 2 quarter, but if you look at it structurally, this will continue to be a very interesting market for players like us and for players in India as well.
Okay, great having you on the show. Thank you so much, Vishal, for taking the time out.
Thank you.